The world has watched for over 3 years as the COVID-19 pandemic unfolded, leaving devastation in its wake. Streets once bustling with life turned eerily silent, and the global economy came to a grinding halt. Families were separated, and the healthcare system was pushed to its limits. From the outset, whispers of a possible lab origin were silenced, dismissed as conspiracy. Mainstream media and scientific communities were quick to label these theories as unfounded, often ridiculing those who dared to question the official narrative. Now, shocking new intelligence has emerged, confirming what many suspected all along. COVID-19 did not originate in nature. This revelation has turned the tide, forcing a re-evaluation of the pandemic's origins and the measures taken to prevent it. This revelation, with potentially explosive geopolitical consequences, stems from the findings of the German Federal Intelligence Service, the BND. The BND, known for its rigorous and thorough intelligence operations, has a history of uncovering truths that others might miss. The BND, renowned for its intelligence-gathering capabilities, launched a covert operation codenamed Project Saaremaa. This operation was shrouded in secrecy, involving some of the most skilled agents and analysts in the field. Their mission uncovered the truth behind the origins of COVID-19. The team worked tirelessly, piecing together fragments of information from various sources, often working late into the night. The investigation took them deep into the heart of the matter, scrutinizing scientific papers, intercepting communications, and cultivating sources within China. They left no stone unturned, ensuring that every lead was followed and every piece of evidence was examined. What they uncovered was startling, pointing unequivocally to a laboratory leak from the Wuhan Institute of Virology. This institution, once considered a beacon of scientific research, now stands at the center of a global controversy. This revelation is not based on conjecture. The evidence gathered is concrete, leaving little room for doubt. The BND obtained irrefutable evidence, including unpublished dissertations from Chinese scientific institutions, that exposed a pattern of reckless research and a disregard for safety protocols. These documents paint a grim picture of the practices within the Wuhan Institute of Virology. These documents, concealed from the world's eyes, detailed gain-of-function research on bat coronaviruses, experiments explicitly designed to enhance their transmissibility and virulence. Such research, while intended to prepare for potential outbreaks, carried inherent risks that were tragically realized. The implications are chilling. A virus, manipulated in a lab, escaped into the world, unleashing a pandemic. The global community now faces the harsh reality of a man-made disaster, with far-reaching consequences. The BND, known for its meticulous analysis, didn't stop there. They continued to dig deeper, ensuring that their findings were robust and beyond reproach. They developed a probability index, a sophisticated model that assessed the likelihood of various origin scenarios. This model incorporated a vast array of data points, from genetic sequences to epidemiological patterns. After crunching the data, their conclusion was stark. The lab leak hypothesis was deemed almost certain, exceeding a 99% probability. This level of certainty is unprecedented, leaving little room for alternative explanations. This bombshell revelation, now in the hands of the Trump administration, has sent shockwaves across the globe, with potentially seismic implications for international relations. World leaders are now grappling with the fallout as the true origins of COVID-19 come to light. The geopolitical landscape may never be the same again, as nations reassess their alliances and strategies in the wake of this groundbreaking discovery. Project Saaremaa, shrouded in secrecy until now, stands as a testament to the BND's commitment to uncovering the truth. The project, named after an Estonian island known for its remote location and historical significance as a Soviet espionage hub, was highly classified. Only a select few within the German government were privy to its existence and its sensitive objective. The BND, Germany's Federal Intelligence Service, embarked on this mission with a clear goal: to uncover the origins of the COVID-19 pandemic and to understand the potential role of the Wuhan Institute of Virology in its emergence. The BND, leveraging its global network of intelligence assets, began by focusing on Wuhan, the epicenter of the outbreak. Wuhan, a bustling city in central China, became the focal point of the investigation due to its connection to the initial cases of the virus. They meticulously pieced together the movements of researchers at the Wuhan Institute of Virology, tracking their activities both inside and outside the lab. This involved a detailed analysis of their daily routines, interactions, and any unusual behavior that could provide clues. Scrutinizing their publications, conference presentations, and even their online activity. The BND's analysts pored over thousands of pages of scientific literature, looking for any inconsistencies or red flags that might indicate risky research practices. They delved into the Institute's research portfolio, particularly its work on bat coronaviruses, which are known to be a natural reservoir for many deadly viruses. The BND's investigation revealed that the Wuhan Institute had been conducting extensive research on these viruses for years, uncovering a pattern of risky experiments conducted under lax safety conditions. The BND found evidence that the Institute's safety protocols were often inadequate, with researchers sometimes working with dangerous pathogens without proper protective gear. The intelligence gathered painted a troubling picture. The BND's findings suggested that the Wuhan Institute's research practices were not only risky, but also potentially reckless. Researchers at the Wuhan Institute of Virology were engaged in gain-of-function research, a highly controversial practice that involves manipulating viruses to make them more transmissible or deadly. This type of research is intended to help scientists understand how viruses evolve and to develop better vaccines and treatments. A controversial practice that involves manipulating viruses to make them more transmissible or deadly. However, it also carries significant risks, as it could lead to the accidental release of a dangerous pathogen. This research, often justified in the name of pandemic preparedness, carries inherent risks, as it could inadvertently create a pathogen capable of causing a global outbreak. The BND's investigation raised serious concerns about the potential consequences of such research, as it could inadvertently create a pathogen capable of causing a global outbreak. The BND's findings suggested that the Wuhan Institute's research could have played a role in the emergence of the COVID-19 virus. Further deepening the mystery, the BND discovered that crucial data, including lab records and experimental data, had vanished from the Wuhan Institute's databases shortly after the outbreak began. This missing data included key information about the experiments conducted at the Institute and the viruses they were working with. This attempted cover-up, combined with China's relentless obstruction of independent investigations, only strengthened suspicions of a lab leak. The Chinese government's refusal to allow independent investigators access to the Wuhan Institute further fueled these suspicions, only strengthened suspicions of a lab leak. The BND's investigation, while not conclusive, provided significant evidence that warranted further scrutiny and raised important questions about the origins of the COVID-19 pandemic. Among the most damning pieces of evidence unearthed by the BND were unpublished dissertations from Chinese scientific institutions. These documents, which had been meticulously hidden away, were never meant to see the light of day. They were buried deep within the archives of various research facilities, shielded from the prying eyes of the international scientific community. These documents, kept hidden from the international scientific community, provided a glimpse into the secretive world of Chinese virology research. The secrecy surrounding these papers was not just a matter of academic discretion, but a deliberate attempt to conceal the true nature of the research being conducted. They revealed a culture of secrecy, a disregard for safety protocols, and a pattern of reckless experimentation. The labs were often marked with biohazard signs, a stark reminder of the dangerous work being carried out within their walls. Scientists clad in hazmat suits worked tirelessly, often pushing the boundaries of ethical research. One dissertation, authored by a graduate student at the Wuhan Institute of Virology, described experiments involving the creation of chimeric viruses. These experiments were not just theoretical, but involved the actual manipulation of viral genomes, creating new, hybrid viruses that had never existed in nature. These Frankenstein-like viruses were engineered by combining genetic material from different coronaviruses, including bat coronaviruses closely related to SARS-CoV-2. The process of genetic sequencing and mixing samples was carried out with precision, yet the potential consequences of such work were not fully considered. The goal of this research, according to the dissertation, was to study the potential for cross-species transmission of coronaviruses. Researchers hoped to understand how these viruses could jump from animals to humans, a phenomenon that had already caused several outbreaks in the past. Another dissertation, from a different institution, detailed experiments involving the serial passage of bat coronaviruses through humanized mice. This method, known as gain-of-function research, aimed to make the viruses more adept at infecting human cells. This technique, designed to adapt viruses to infect human cells more efficiently, carries a significant risk of creating a more transmissible or virulent pathogen. The microscopic view of these viruses revealed their complex structures, and the work with lab mice was meticulously documented. The dissertation's findings indicated that the researchers had indeed created a more pathogenic virus, capable of causing severe disease in the mice. The sight of sick lab mice and the detailed analysis of lab results painted a grim picture of the potential dangers of such research. These dissertations, combined with other intelligence gathered by the BND, painted a clear picture of a research program careening out of control. Surveillance footage and intelligence reports revealed a chaotic environment where safety protocols were often ignored. The Chinese government, rather than promoting transparency and accountability, actively suppressed information and obstructed international investigations. Protesters outside government buildings and blocked access signs highlighted the lengths to which the authorities would go to maintain their secrecy. Their actions, aimed at protecting their reputation at all costs, allowed the virus to spread unchecked, transforming a local outbreak into a global pandemic. The bustling city streets, the global map showing the pandemic's spread, and the crowded hospitals with overwhelmed staff were stark reminders of the consequences of such secrecy and